Hi, this is Brian speaking to you from the Full Recovery Wellness Center in Fairfield, New Jersey. I was thinking just recently, how did I get sober? And you probably heard me mention this in the past, that I found people who already knew what I wanted to do, and I did what they did and they get what they got. But that works in every area of life. I'll give you an example. After being sober for, I guess it was 13, 14 years, I decided I'd like to try something different. And I was always a biker, and I was always into, action sports and all types of things. I decided I'd like to learn how to ride a horse. Now, I'm from northern New Jersey, about 10 minutes outside of Manhattan. Not exactly horse country, but I decided, why not? I'm not gonna let anything slow me down. I'm not gonna let anything hold me back. It's something that always interested me, so I'd try it. So, being a typical alcoholic, I dove right into it all the way. I ran right out. I bought a horse that probably wasn't the right horse for me. I figured I could do it on my own, just like I thought originally I could do that with sobriety. So I went out, I bought this horse, and I'm having the worst time of it. First he threw me on my head, then I can't saddle him up, and all these things are going on. But being a persistent guy, I kept at it. Through Providence, I wound up running into a man who was a retired rodeo cowboy. And he said, bring this horse over to my place and I'll help you out. So I brought it over there, and he watches me one day. I can't catch the horse, and then I have the bit in my hand, and I'm trying to get the bit in the horse's mouth, and I'm chasing the horse in circles around the place, and he's just sitting back watching me do this thing. Finally, the man interrupts me, and he says, Brian, come here. And he comes over, and he grabs the horse by the mane, and he says, stick your thumb up inside the horse's mouth. He goes, you'll find a spot in there, and the spot in there, there's no tooth. He goes, stick your finger right in there. He goes, so I do that. All of a sudden the mouth drops open, and I slide the bit in there. And I was like, that's amazing. I was like, I never would have figured that out. And he stepped back again, and he stared at me for a while like this, and he says, how would you? I said, what? He goes, how would you figure it out? He goes, people have been messing with horses for thousands of years. He says, I didn't figure it out. Somebody showed me. And it's such a simple lesson, but in young adulthood, I thought well, I'm a man now. I should know everything. I shouldn't ask anybody for help. I consider myself the lone rider going out into the desert, the cowboy, the Marlboro man. I didn't need anybody's assistance. But this old cowboy showed me and reminded me that I need everybody's help. How do I know how to do anything? Anything from tying my shoes to doing simple arithmetic. I learned from watching somebody else, asking them questions, and letting them educate me on the most effective way of accomplishing my task. Yet when it came time to getting sober, I thought once again I could do it myself. I couldn't do it myself. Think about it. The first step in any 12-step program begins with the word we. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and our lives had become unmanageable, right? That's the first step in the AA step book and AA big book. And let's face it, that is the original program, the original 12-step program, and it's the most successful way ever. Not that people don't need clinical treatment, not that they don't need medical treatment to get to get sober, but the idea is to remain sober. I have to, on a regular basis, remember that I'm part of the we. I can't do this by myself. And if you're an alcoholic or drug addict like me, you probably can't either. What I suggest is if you're struggling, you pick up the phone and you call a treatment center, you get into a detox, you get a friend or somebody who's been down the road of recovery, or you just get your butt into a 12-step meeting and say, I need help. And just like me, you'll stop going around in circles like I did with that horse, and you'll start getting into the rhythm of life. You'll start figuring out how we can stay sober together. This is Brian McAllister from the Full Recovery Wellness Center. Talk to you soon.